Story number 1. Crazy guy at an ATM. Hello, this is the story when I got stuck with a dangerous man at an ATM. It was midnight and I was on my way home. At that time, I worked the shift 3 to 11 p.m. at a nursing home, while at the same time going to college. I just received my paycheck and I wanted to save time, so I headed to the ATM location that was on my way home. I know what you guys are going to say. It's dangerous to go to an ATM in the middle of the night, but I felt confident no one was going to be there. Anyways, I want to go, so I went to the ATM and I inserted my card into the machine. Soon I realized that the machine was out of service. I tried the second machine, but again, nothing happened. I was annoyed because I wasted precious time. I could have arrived home by now. As I stopped trying the last machine, I noticed a man in a suit just got into the ATM location. I said to him, "The machines don't work." Despite that, the machine stopped trying. However, the man kept trying the ATM machines over and over. On my way home, I noticed a car was slowly getting closer and closer. I thought nothing of it, since the place I live is a quiet area. Suddenly, the car sped up toward me. Luckily, I have good reflexes and I moved immediately. I couldn't believe it. It was the same man from the ATM machines. The guy looked very angry, and with a threatening voice he said, "You messed with the machines. Give me money." I did nothing to the machines. They were out of service before I tried to use them, I said. The man acted as if he did not hear me, and instead he put his hands on the wheel and said, "You owe me money." He laughed on a maddening way. I said out of fear, "No!" and started running toward a Stop and Shop store. The store was closed already, but luckily there were a few people there who got there thinking it was still open. The crazy man stopped the car about 10 meters away from where I was. He just stayed there, staring at me. A few seconds later, he said, "I'll wait for you," and then he drove away. I was so scared at the moment. Thought of that man waiting for me on my way home were pounding in my head. My places about 15 minutes from where I was, and people just stared at me. Nobody helped. I immediately called my roommate and asked him to pick me up in his car. Fortunately for me, he was up at this late hour. Minutes later, he arrived in his car. He couldn't believe what just happened to me. As we were on the road, I noticed a car similar to the one that man was driving. It was parked behind the Stop and Shop. All this time, I immediately took cover so he couldn't see me. At this moment, my heart was pounding because that meant that crazy man was just meters away from me, waiting to do who knows what. We arrived home, and the first thing I did was lock the doors and windows. The thought of a person wanting to hurt me was just too much. My roommate told me to do some breath exercises, so I did. I calmed down eventually. After that experience, I will never go to an ATM in the middle of the night, and I will try to get my own car, so something like this will never happen again. Be careful out there. You never know what kind of people are out there. This is the story of the Midnight Lady. One night, I went to work at a nursing home to do the night shift from 11 p.m. to 7:30 in the morning. I know what you guys are going to say. It's a shitty schedule, but there is a pandemic going on, and people are losing jobs left and right. So I'll take what I can get. Fortunately, I go to college to get my degree in computer science and being a programmer. Anyways, I entered the building, and it was a regular night. Time passed until it was 1:30 in the morning, and I started to feel a bit sleepy. So I went to the lobby area where the main entrance is. They always keep coffee there. I poured some coffee on a paper cup and began walking to the elevator. Suddenly, knocks on the door were heard. I got scared with the noise, but then instinctively I turned my head towards the noise, and there she was. An old lady of around 70 years old was standing on the other side of the door. Side note: the doors are transparent, made out of glass. These doors can only be opened during the night by someone monitoring the surveillance cameras installed from first floor. So if this person was knocking, this meant that either somebody who's monitoring those doors just didn't open to her because she was a stranger, or she just didn't know what to do. The lady stared at me and she said on a gentle voice, "Hello, boy. Could you be a gentleman and open the door for me? I need to go to the bathroom." I never met this person, and I pretty much know everyone who works in the building. Thoughts in my head were forming by now. If she works here, why is she coming so late? When no shift starts at 1:30 in the morning. I asked the lady if she had an ID so I could be sure she works at the nursing home. She replied by saying, I don't have it with me. I think I left it back in my car." I said, "Then go back for it. I'll wait here, and if you work here, I'll open the door." The lady now gave me a look of pure anger, and she said, "Let me in, or I'll get you fired." I wasn't scared of that, since anyone in my position would have done the same thing. I told the lady to calm down and that I was going to call my manager. As I moved toward the elevator, the lady started talking to herself, just mumbling things that didn't make sense. I went to the shift manager and told him there is a lady at the door with no ID, but she says she works here. My manager went to his laptop and opened an app to see the surveillance cameras installed at the entrance of the building. I clearly could see that this lady kept pacing back and forth over and over again until she saw something. Who knows what she saw, but by the looks of it, it was something outside of the building. We noticed that this woman was talking, saying something, but no one was there. My boss said that he's never seen this lady before, and he turned on the audio in the computer, and he said, "Lady, you cannot come in. Please go, or we'll call the police." The lady now started screaming. We don't know what she was saying since the microphone was turned off on her end. But the next thing she did get me scared that I began to tremble. Suddenly, this lady took out a sharp knife she had behind on her jacket. She now began scratching the glass door. At this point, my manager called the police, and they arrived just in time to capture the lady. All the time, she kept staring at the camera as though she knew we were watching. Days later, we found out that this woman escaped from a mental facility, and ever since, she has made multiple crimes by faking people to open doors on different buildings. After that happened, I began to study harder so I could quit this night job and make a lot of money from home. Be careful out there and be safe.